Hey guys, Amy Star Allen here, and in this video today I'm going to talk about 3 things that you must leverage in order to have success with blogging, and I'm also going to talk about 3 things that you must avoid to have success with blogging. Okay, so I just wrote a blog post about this, and I wanted to just add a video because I know that some of my readers would rather learn via video. So I like to throw videos up on my blog posts from time to time. So I figured I'd just kind of go through my blog post and talk about each of these components. So the 3 things you need to leverage when it comes to blogging, okay? The first thing is transparency. When you are putting content out on the internet, people want to know that you're a real person. And so it's awesome to be able to just be real with people, be authentic, and be transparent. If you are going through a struggle, it's okay to share that with people. Sometimes people, they look up to people and think, oh, that person could never have the same problems I do. And when they realize that you've actually had to go through a struggle to get to where you are now, they can relate to that. So transparency is an amazing way to help your readers get to know you, like you, and trust you. And it's a really important thing that you need to leverage in order to be successful with blogging. You don't want to seem untouchable or like your life is all peaches and cream, so just be transparent with people. The next thing is community. Creating interaction on your blog. This is critical. So one of the things that's really important is to have your readers feel like they're having a conversation with you. And a really good way to do that is by using the words you and I in your content. And, that way they feel like you're speaking to them. They feel like you're answering their questions, and you're also talking about yourself in the first person, so it just feels more conversational. The other thing is when someone leaves you a comment on your blog, it's really, really important that you comment back. Continue that conversation. Keep the conversation going. Encourage people to leave a comment. Ask them a question at the end of your post. Sorry, guys, it's super, super windy here. It's like hurricane winds outside. So if you hear wind and wind chimes and stuff, that's why. But, when you ask a question at the end of your post and ask people to leave a comment, what that does is it opens up a conversation. So not only are you giving them the information that they're looking for in your post, but you're offering to continue talking about it with them. So if they want to add something or if they have a question, you can keep the conversation going. So the community aspect of your blog is really, really important if you want to have a successful blog down the line. I mean, think about it. Some of the most successful bloggers, if you go to their blogs, they have tons of comments. And you'll see that they're in there interacting with all of their audience. And so this is a really, really important piece of the equation. And then the third thing that you must leverage to be successful with blogging is detailed content. So, a lot of people think, well, I don't want to make my content too detailed because some people don't have time to read all that. And the fact of the matter is that's true. There are people that aren't going to take the time to read through everything. But if you are solving a problem for the people in your niche, if you are creating content that's actually solving a problem for them or answering a question for them, that means that you are creating something that people will find when they type certain keywords into the search engines. What's your audience searching for? If you know what they're searching for, if you know what problems they're trying to solve and what questions they're trying to get asked, then you can figure out what they're typing into the search engines, and you can do your keyword research and you can write your post based on that. Those people that are typing something into the search engines to go figure something out, to learn something, to take their business to the next level, whatever it is, they want the detail. They want as much detail as possible. And so if you can take the time to put a lot of detail in there so that your reader will get what they need when they come to your post, you are going to create a loyal following that way. And so take the time to create detail. Put pictures in there, videos. Just make your post more robust so they don't look, people don't come there and think, well, I didn't really get what I came for, or it just looks like you just threw something up there for the sake of throwing something up there. So detailed content is huge. Okay, next, let's go into the 3 mistakes you must avoid to be successful at blogging. The first one is not being consistent. I can speak to this from my personal experience. Being consistent is the key. The biggest mistake I think people make is they blog a couple times, maybe they blog for a week, and they think, well, I'm not getting results from this, and so they quit. Today will be day number 86 for me, and I challenged myself to blog every day for 365 days, and today's going to be number 86 for me on another blog that I have. And so what I've noticed by doing that is it took about 30 to 40 posts in a row until I started to see significant results. And that all came from just being consistent. That came from blogging on the days when I didn't really feel like blogging, or blogging late at night before I went to bed to keep that commitment to myself. So when you're consistent and you're providing value consistently, people know, like I have some readers that come to my blog every day because they know every day there's going to be something new on there, something valuable. You know, this other blog I have is a CrossFit blog, so I put recipes on there. I put updates about, you know, the registration for the CrossFit Open. I mean, there's good information on there, so people know that there's going to be new information each day. So I've got my audience kind of in, you know, understanding that, so that they know that they can check back every day. But the other thing that it does, think about this, if you put a piece of content out on the internet every day, and say each of those pieces of content generates 1 lead per day for your business. So, you know, when you have like 3 pieces of content, maybe you're going to get 3 leads per day, maybe less. I mean, some pieces of content aren't going to generate any leads in a day. But think about it this way. If you have 100 pieces of content out there and they're all generating 1 lead per day, that's 100 leads per day. Having content all over the internet is like, it's like real estate on the internet. So the more content that you have, the more value that you can provide for people, the better. Because, you know, some of your posts are going to rank higher in the search engines and more people are going to find them. Some of your posts are going to be more popular keywords that more people are searching for. And so those posts are going to get more traffic. But the more content that you can have out there, the better, because the chances of people finding you are, you know, better than if you just have a few posts and you're like crossing your fingers and hoping that people are going to find those few posts. So being consistent, if you're not being consistent, this is the number 1 mistake that you can make when it comes to blogging. If you can't blog every day, blog 5 days a week. If you can't do that, do 3 days a week, but be consistent and watch what happens. I mean, being consistent over time, not be consistent for 1 week and then give up if you don't get results, because that's not how it works. You need to do it over time. Like I said, it took me about 40 posts consistently until I really started seeing some traction on my blog. And you know, when I was on a hangout with Neil Patel the other night, he's one of the best bloggers in the world. I mean, he's gotten over 800 million views and blah blah blah. He knows a lot about blogging, and one of the things that he said is he's noticed that when he stops being consistent, he loses the traction that it's taken him that long to gain. And then when he starts getting consistent again, he has to start over. You know, you have to start over to gain that momentum again. So you want to be consistent. You don't want to ever stop being consistent. The second mistake that you can make when it comes to blogging is publishing content that you're not proud of. A lot of times people, you know, in the name of being consistent, they just throw something up on their blog just to have something up for the day, but it's not necessarily something that they can be proud of. You know, you want to take the time to make sure that you're providing value for your readers, that you're answering their questions, that you're solving their problems, and that you're doing it in a way that you can actually feel proud of. Again, Neil Patel, one of the things he recommended doing was having a friend or a family member actually read your content before you click the publish button, just to see if it's clear to them, see if there's any questions. You know, if they have questions, maybe there's something else that you can add to your post before you publish it. But each time you publish something, it should be something that you're proud of, because think about it. If you find something, if you're Googling, you know, a question, and you click on a post and you go read to somebody's blog, and it's not a very good post, like it's mediocre at best, do you think you're ever going to come back to that person's blog? Do you think you're ever going to like view them as a resource for you or as an expert in your field? No. But if they have taken the time to put out this masterpiece of a blog post that really answers all of your questions, then people will, you know, they'll subscribe, they'll come back to your post on your blog on a regular basis. And so make sure that when you publish something, that it's something that you can be proud of. And then the third mistake that you can make when it comes to blogging is not picking a niche. Oftentimes, and I'm guilty of this as well, in the beginning when I first started blogging, I was really just, it was just like whatever I felt like blogging about that day, whether it was personal stuff or business stuff or whatever. And it's a lot harder to get followers if you don't know who you're actually marketing to. So you need to figure out who your target market is. And in order to do that, you have to define a niche. So if you can blog on a consistent basis about one particular niche, you over time, again, when you're putting out content on a very, very consistently over time, and you get a whole bunch of content and it's all on a specific niche, you will eventually become the go-to person for that niche because you have so much valuable information about that niche. Whereas if you're blogging about all different niches, then you're not really the go-to person for anything. It's just like your random thoughts and ideas about different things. So not picking a niche is a big mistake that a lot of people make. So that's it. So those are the 3 things that you must leverage to be successful with blogging and the 3 mistakes you need to avoid to be successful with blogging. I hope that this has been helpful, and please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, put those in the comments too. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to answer your questions and keep the conversation going. And if you're not on my blog, if you're seeing this video on YouTube, you can click the link below to go over to my blog. My blog is where the conversation happens, and so definitely make sure you stop by and visit me at amystarisland.com. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.